Hi there, Broby223 here, and thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel where I'm conducting an ongoing series of gelatin and patterning tests on a wide variety of 12-gauge shotgun ammo. This is episode 1.2, where I'm going to check out a nickel-plated lead BB load from Hornady. It's from their heavy Magnum Coyote line and utilizes what they call their Versatite wad. With winter coming up quick here, I've been keen to get it tested because it seems like there's just a ton of coyotes running around this year and landowners have already started calling. So let's jump right in. Okay, that was one round of Hornady's heavy Magnum Coyote 12-gauge BB round with their Versatite wad. You can see that the wad looks pretty much identical to Federal's flight control wad, and we'll check out his patterning performance in just a bit. The round was shot from a distance of 5 yards into a carefully prepared and calibrated block of 10% ballistics gel, and for those that are interested in calculating their own penetration corrections as per McPherson's excellent bullet penetration model, here's the calibration BB velocity and corresponding penetration data. The impact pattern was nice and tight at just over an inch, and it has me stoked to see how this load patterns at 25 yards. Overall permanent crush cavity development was slightly better than other lead BB loads I've tested. All in all, terminal performance that has me thinking those winter coyotes are in big trouble. Now moving on to patterning. The pattern boards are set up at a distance of 25 yards, and I've got 4 shotguns all set to go. Here's a quick review of their choke configurations. Cylinder bore, cut down cylinder, improved cylinder, and modified choke. Eat this, Mr. Coyote. Okay, let's go check it out. Given that the Versatite wad is virtually identical to the Flight Stopper wad that performed so impressively in episode 1.0, I had pretty high hopes and, well, woohoo! If you go back and compare, you'll notice that what we're seeing here is almost as good as the Steel BBs in the Black Cloud. Same thing with the cut-down cylinder gun. Maybe it's just a little less impressive. The overall pattern is about the same size, however there are less hits in our 12-inch reference disc. Now moving over to the improved cylinder gun, I was surprised at the approximate same-sized overall pattern, but in keeping with the trend I'm seeing with these wads across different loads, as choke tightens, there are again less hits in the reference disc. Lastly, here's the pattern from the gun with a modified choke. It's the largest of the 4 patterns and confirms the trend we just talked about and that this load is designed for open-choked guns. In closing, large shot with these types of wads pattern night and day better by comparison to loads with conventional wads. To finish off this episode, let's take a quick look at some unfired and fired shots from Hornady's heavy Magnum Coyote BB loads. Here's some pellets from an unfired round. All those beautiful BBs are nickel plated, and Hornady claims it's one of the thickest plating jobs in the industry. Based on how easily they rolled around my table, I think they're probably pretty round too. But it sure doesn't look like all that plating really does much to prevent shot deformation. Here's the pellets recovered from the gelatin test and a wad recovered from general shooting. That copper-plated BB is what I used to calibrate the gelatin. More careful examination of the recovered shot reveals that there's approximately 2 degrees of deformation. I'll speculate that the lesser deformed pellets were only subject to firing and gelatin impact stresses, whereas the seriously mangled pellets also violently collided with each other during impact. I think the serious deformation might be avoided at more extended range, as the pattern would have opened up a bit and shot colliding with itself would be far less likely. In fact, I think we should totally test that in a future episode. After I get a couple more BB, some number 4 buck, and maybe some double-aught buck episodes out of the way, I'll do another segment with this specific round. We'll set the gelatin up at 25 yards to test penetration and shot deformation a bit further downrange from the muzzle by comparison to what we've been doing in these tests. Until then though, and based on what we saw in this episode, I think that Hornady's heavy Magnum Coyote nickel-plated BB is a fantastic load. In cylinder board guns, it exhibits super tight patterning by comparison to more conventional loads, and when compared to steel waterfowl loads, its denser lead payload will shed less velocity en route to target and have more penetrating power when it gets there. Thanks so much for tuning in to episode 1.2, and if there's something you'd like to see tested in a future episode, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. Hope to see you next time. Bye for now.